Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Off-Szn Hoops off-season preview. Today, we're going to be talking about the Atlanta Hawks. Now, jump right into it. Congratulations, DeJounte Murray, on the huge extension, 4-year, $114 million with a 2027-2028 player option. This is a nice sign to see, as you know, you made the huge trade for DeJounte with all of those first-round picks to San Antonio, and then brought in Quinn Snyder late in the season. So you didn't really get to see what a Quinn Snyder, DeJounte Murray, and Trae Young backcourt would look like on the floor necessarily consistently. And now you get a chance to see a full season of it, them as the focal point, definitely. And hopefully we can see something better than what we saw. We didn't get to see, the full Quinn Snyder season. So let's, I don't know, I guess let's give it another season. I'm not really sure. I'm not a huge Atlanta Hawks fan, so I'm not going to say that I watched every single game. But something that did surprise me, even though I haven't watched a ton of Atlanta Hawks last year, was the John Collins trade. I didn't think he had dropped in value that much. Rudy Gay in a singular second-round pick is not a lot. It's not a lot at all, especially when you consider what they ended up trading Rudy Gay for. It's a little disappointing after all of the lead-up and all of the trade rumors after all these years, and you finally trade him for nothing. Now, he also went in the draft and drafted Kobe Buffkin out of Michigan, Mohamed Gay out of Washington State, and then you also got two ways for Seth Lundy and Miles Norris. Now, Kobe Buffkin is a really solid draft pick. I don't know about his fit necessarily on this team. I mean, realistically, as long as Trae Young is here, he's going to be behind him. As long as DeJounte is here, he's going to be behind DeJounte. So, I don't know. He's a solid backup guard for this team. They have Patty Mills, who's probably going to get minutes above him, at least at the start of the season. But I think he's a solid scorer. He's a good pick and roll maestro and a decent playmaker, despite what the numbers show, I think. Could be wrong about that, but he is a good playmaker. I just don't know if the numbers are correct. But at the end of the day, how much does this draft pick really impact the team winning when he's going to be a backup? I don't know. A backup, and as long as Trae and DeJounte are on this team. I don't know. It's like, would I have rather seen you try and get a forward or something like that? Maybe, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, especially draft positioning. It's not like you were in the greatest spot. But you also followed the Houston Dillon Brooks 5-team sign and trade bullshit with a trade for Patty Mills because you acquired Ty Washington, Usman Garuba, and you used Rudy Gay from the John Collins trade. So you traded those three, Ty, Usman, and Rudy, for Patty Mills from OKC, I believe. And that was, something for sure. I don't know. It's a nothing trade. What the fuck do you want me to say, Atlanta? Honestly, like, you allegedly signed Wesley Matthews to a one-year, $3.2 million. Fine. Like, what, when I look at the lineups, obviously you have Trae starting at the 1, DeJounte at the 2, DeAndre Hunter at the 3, probably Jalen Johnson, honestly, at the 4. If I'm picking, it's Jalen Johnson at the 4. Maybe Sadiq Bey, I guess. I bet it's probably Jalen Johnson. And then Clint Capella at the 5. Off the bench, you've got Patty Mills or Kobe Buffkin, Bogdanovich, AJ Griffin, Sadiq Bey, and Okongwu Onyeka. And that's a decent bench lineup. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that's a bad bench lineup. Obviously, Patty Mills and Bogdanovich is not a great defensive backcourt, and then you follow that up with Sadiq. I don't know. You have Vit Krejci and Garrison Matthews. I was going to say Garrison Matthews, a good scorer, good spark plug. But, AJ Griffin had a really good rookie year last year, had the game winner or whatever, is a do-it-all type of player. And I think he'll slide in perfectly with his bench lineup next to, a good shooter in Bogdanovich, a good playmaker in Patty Mills and Buffkin, honestly, and, a good shooter-ish in Sadiq Bey, and a good defender in Onyeka Okongwu. Despite being undersized, he continues to be a really solid point of attack and relative vertical rim protector. He's definitely more of a paint protector than a rim protector. But yeah, that's the lineups. I don't know. I'm not really sold on this Atlanta team. I don't think the Trae, DeJounte, DeAndre, Capella pairing is a bad pairing necessarily. I think that all those guys are solid NBA players. And you definitely need a more efficient Trae Young season than you had last season, but it's still Trae fucking Young. He's still gonna be the 3-point madness and playmaking maestro that we know he is. And DeJounte, I don't know. I mean, can he be that prototypical 2 that fits perfectly next to Trae Young that also takes some ball handling loads, some ball handling usage away from him, and helps, with the offensive load? I don't know. Is DeAndre Hunter going to be able to stay on the floor and be consistent? I don't know. Who is your 4? I don't know. Is Clint Capella enough, or is Onyeka Okongwu going to finally have to step up and be the center that Trae and DeJounte and DeAndre need offensively and defensively? Defensively in the sense that they can depend on him against the bigger guys, against the guys who used to overpower him. That's, a question. Those are all questions, and they're serious questions that, at the end of the day, all end with one thing. Is a Trae Young led team ever capable of winning a championship? And I don't know the answer to that. I'm not going to sit here and say that I do. I'm not a genius, and I'm definitely not that smart. I don't know. We'll see. And I'm still going to enjoy watching some games of y'all this season, so it's whatever. Peace.